Now, in the brain, we have some hardware which consists of cells known as neurons, and these neurons communicate with each other through channels known as electrical synapses, and they conduct electrical impulses. And this network of electrical impulses supports a kind of software. So here you can see the electrical activity of a zebrafish brain while this zebrafish is thinking about whatever it is that fish normally think about. And it's possible now to begin to decode the information content or the thoughts that are driven by all of these sets of electrical activity. Now, what we found out is that in fact all cells, not just neurons, have this ability. All cells drive electrical signals. All cells communicate with each other through various kinds of electrical connections, and it turns out that this ability to store and process information in electrical networks is universal. And what you see here in the bottom right is an early frog embryo, and all the different colors are showing you in time-lapse video all the electrical conversations that cells are having with each other to determine which cells will make the right, left, top, bottom, anterior, and posterior parts of the developing tadpole. And these bioelectrical patterns are an extremely important instructive influence over what happens in embryogenesis. So these patterns are what we call bioelectric scaffolds or bioelectric pre-patterns. Here you see another time lapse of a frog embryo putting its face together. And so here's one frame from that video, and you can see the white regions are cells which have a very particular bioelectrical property. They're depolarized, and you can already see in this new tissue, you can already see the outlines of the frog face. There's the eye, the mouth, the organs on the sides called placodes. You see all of this that's going to be formed later on. So this is an instructive pre-pattern, and if this pre-pattern is disrupted, then the gene expression will change, and then the anatomy will change. And in fact, we have examples of pathological changes. Down here you see a tadpole that bears a human oncogene, which is going to induce a tumor. But even before that tumor becomes obvious, you can detect it non-invasively using a fluorescent voltage-sensitive dye, which reveals that these cells are going to have an aberrant bioelectrical potential, and they are not going to cooperate with the rest of the body. They're in effect shutting off the electrical connections with the rest of the tissue and going off on their own. They're going to treat the rest of the animal as just environment, and they're going to revert to a kind of unicellular ancient existence, and this is what we see in metastasis and cancer progression. So watching these bioelectrical signals is really important, not only for understanding where developmental anatomy comes from, but also as potential diagnostics for birth defects and also for cancer.